Okay, well, hello, this is Dr. Shannon Tran, and in this webinar, I'm going to share the three critical shifts you must make to embrace ease in your life. So, if you've been working really hard and not seeing results, if you feel like no matter how hard you work or no matter what you do, it's not enough, or if you just feel tired of spinning your wheels and you want to see more progress and results from your efforts, then this webinar is for you. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you how you can embrace ease while still being highly productive, how to achieve with more ease so you're not burning yourself out, getting exhausted, or giving up before you see the harvest in your life. So you can really enjoy life with less stress, less worry, and less frustration. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to really radiate confidence in your relationships and in your life and to eliminate low self-esteem. So big things are happening in this webinar. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So give me a second to do that. And, Lincoln was such a wise man, and he said, be sure to put your feet in the right place because then you'll stand firm. And this is really critical for embracing ease because so many times we maybe don't have clarity on what we want, or we don't have a clear vision for our life, or we're confused, or we're getting scattered by other people's opinions of how things should be. So it's really important that you learn how to put your foot in the right place for you and feel like you're on purpose and you've got a clear path for yourself and you know how to get to your destination. Because when you do, that's a really powerful place to be, and you will definitely be enjoying a lot more ease when you are able to put your feet in the right place. So I wanted to tell you a little bit of my intention for this webinar. I want to support you in gaining clarity about what you want so you can embrace ease in your life, really to inspire and install some freedom and passion about your life and what you can do to stop battling against yourself. That's one of the biggest reasons why we will experience struggle is when we're working against ourselves. How to show you really what it takes to be highly productive and still have the time to relax and enjoy life. And then just offer an opportunity to support you in applying the three critical shifts that you must use in order to embrace ease in your life. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am so you know why I'm sharing this with you. So I've actually been in corporate America, successfully navigating as a clinical psychologist for the last 18 years. And by applying what I'm going to teach you today, it's allowed me to enjoy a lot of flexibility in my life so that I'm having time for things that matter to me, spending time with my family, going on date nights with my husband, being able to be a behavioral health manager and lead a team in the company I work with, while having enough time to start my own freedom-based coaching and training business. And it's really allowed me to work with some amazing people and busy professionals like yourself to help them create the balance, fulfillment, and freedom in their life. And the reason why this is so important to me is 4 years ago in 2014, I was just really feeling exhausted and really just burned out. And there was no time for myself. I was going from task to task without any joy or fulfillment. So maybe you can relate to that. I was a busy mom, busy at my corporate job, cleaning my house, all those things that we need to do to live our life. And I just felt my life was on autopilot. I was just going from task to task. And even though I was already working in corporate America for 15 years and got promoted, I just wasn't feeling successful. Like there wasn't a match between what I had achieved and how I felt on the inside. I was feeling unfulfilled and I wasn't feeling happy. And despite what I had accomplished, I was really weighed down by a lot of self-doubt and perfectionism. And it was really getting in the way of me feeling like I could just be myself around other people and relax. So it made it very difficult for me to relax because I felt like I had to be perfect and I needed to be accepted by people. And I was just really exhausted about all the effort. So there definitely wasn't ease in my life at that time. And as you can imagine, it was just very difficult to relax, to have fun. And really, I got to a point where I was either going to make some real changes in my life or face a real serious depression. And the desire to just finally be happy and free and relaxed got me to a tipping point where I reached out and got some help and really learned how to get to the core of the reasons why we don't experience fulfillment in our life and why we think we have to work so hard and why we could spend our times really putting a lot of effort but not seeing results. And so these are the 3 shifts that I needed to make, that I helped my clients make, that made all the difference and allowed me to really stand in a much more powerful place to enjoy life and really create life on my terms. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Well, the first shift you need to make to embrace ease in your life, and you've probably heard this before, but you've got to get an alignment. It's really difficult to experience ease if you're not in alignment. If you're working against yourself, if you don't know what you want, if you don't have clarity of what's most important to you, or have done the work to get a sense of what matters to you and what do you want your life to look like, you just won't be at rest. And so one of the first shifts that you've got to make is to gain clarity. And so the exercise is to really sit down and create a clear vision for your life. What would it look and feel like for you? And write it down. So how many hours would you be working? Who would you be spending your time with? What would you be doing? What kind of fun would you be having? And how would you feel in your relationships? And really take the time to visualize it. What would that feel like? What would you hear? What would you say? Like, really put yourself in that experience. And once you have a mental picture of what it is that you want, and again, it might start out fuzzy or it may change as you refine it and get even more clarity, because seeking constant clarity is actually a high performance skill. And it's something that we're going to be doing repeatedly. It's not like one and done. It's something that we will continue to refine as we work on our goals and dreams. And so it's really important that you have a vision for your life. And there's a saying out there that if you don't have a vision, you will be following other people's vision, right? And that could be one of the reasons why you feel dissatisfied, you might not feel fulfilled, or you don't know what you want, is you've never really given yourself permission to dream. And so sitting down and just asking yourself what you want and writing it out is the first step. Because once you know what you want, then you can see where is the gap between what you want and, you know, from where you are to where you want to be. And many times the gap is in terms of our self-image, in working on the beliefs that we deserve it, that we're allowed to have it. There's skill sets that we need to learn. So for myself, you know, when I first started my coaching business, because I've never needed to learn about sales and marketing and anything like that, I had some huge gaps. I had no idea about marketing, no ideas about sales, and there were skills that I need to develop in order to create this experience in my life. And so depending on what you want, whether it's a healthy body or a relationship or a promotion, whatever it is for you, there's going to be skills that you need to develop, beliefs that you need to develop, new ways of being that you need to develop, new habits and attitudes, and that's the gap, right? That's the gap, and it's us getting in alignment with that gap to bring that experience into our reality. That's all the work that we do. So it's important that you know what it is that you want, and you begin the process of getting into alignment with it. The more aligned you are with what you deeply desire for yourself, the more ease you will experience in your life, the more harmony you'll experience, the more synchronicities, the more your life will flow. One of the biggest challenges that I find for people, that I found for myself, is one of the biggest gaps is between what we say we want and what we believe is possible for us, right? And so we've got to work on getting our conscious desires, what we say we want, and what we believe is possible in alignment, so there's not this internal tug of war. Because if you don't believe that it's safe for you to have it, if you don't believe that you deserve it, if you don't believe that it's possible, you're going to be working against yourself, and you'll be sabotaging yourself in some way. And this is why we have those experiences where we're working really hard but not getting results from our efforts. Something is often missing, or we're actually working against ourselves, but we can't see it. So perhaps you're in that situation now, or you've been there where you know what I'm talking about. And so one of the ways that we get in alignment is actually we've got to start releasing some of the things that maybe have been part of our lives for a long time. So it could be excessive people pleasing. It could be the need for perfectionism. It could be a fear of rejection. It could be a tendency to overcommit. But it's really looking at some of your patterns and ways of being that might be interfering with your ability to embrace ease. So for a lot of women that I speak to, a big issue is just setting healthy boundaries and saying no, right? They feel like they need to go along or agree. They want to be liked. And so sometimes maybe they'll overcommit or agree to things that they don't really want to be doing. And maybe you can relate to that. You know, if you've been in a situation where you've said yes when you really meant no, then you know what it's like to struggle with the need to people please. And so what I've found is getting in alignment, the belief that needs to shift for the transformation to take place is the belief that you matter and that you deserve to be loved, happy, and a successful person. Because when you operate from this belief, and this is like $1 million belief, right? This is a powerful $1 million belief to operate from. When you believe that, you'll start making different decisions. I mean, I'm just even noticing my energy shifting, right? My shoulders are going back. I'm smiling. I feel strong and confident. When you're operating from that belief, you're going to be conveying verbally and non-verbally a level of self-worth, a level of confidence, a level of worthiness. And it's important to notice what you're operating from. So that belief that you matter, that you're important, that you deserve to be loved, happy, and successful, that's a powerful belief and a shift that you must make that will enable you to embrace ease in your life, so you're able to be productive when you need to, but also learn how to relax when you need to delegate because you know it's okay, you've given yourself permission. And to just maximize your time and know what to say no to and yes to. Right, so that's shift number one. Shift number two is knowing and accepting yourself. And we've got to shed these versions of ourselves that may not be real for us, but they've just been ways that we've coped to get along with people, to be liked or noticed, or to just really survive in life. And knowing yourself really means being aware of your strengths and weaknesses and being able to accept them. So I remember, a while ago, I would be embarrassed that I'm not a great cook. I just don't like to cook. And I know some people do, but I just had like all these ideas that women are supposed to know how to cook. And if you were a great wife, you would be cooking meals. But that just really wasn't my strength. Like I actually stunk at it. And my husband will attest to this, where like, one time, for example, I made meatloaf and he's biting it and he's like, and it's hard to swallow because it's like heavy. And he's like, what did you put in this? I said, oh, it's meatloaf. And he's like, did you put bread? I said, no. He's like, well, meatloaf without the bread is just meat. And I was so embarrassed. And he thought that it was funny. But I think I just needed to accept. And it took a while that, cooking is not going to be one of my strengths. And I'm okay with that. And so we found ways to work around it, right? Rather than me pretending to be someone I'm not or liking things that I don't like to do. And so it's really important that you know and accept yourself, and that you embrace that, because if you don't know and accept yourself, then you'll come off as you'll come off as scattered, or people won't feel like they really know you, and you'll just feel like you can't really be genuine with people. So this is an important piece for embracing ease, is being okay and truly accepting all of you and loving all parts of yourself. So it does also mean that you know what you value in life, who you want to be, what you stand for, and what you don't stand for. Because the truth is, if you stand for nothing, you're going to fall for everything. And sometimes what we value may not be what other people value. And so it's really getting to a place where you're so comfortable with yourself that it's okay for you to be different. And it's okay for you to have a different opinion. And interestingly enough, the people who are really meant to be in your life will value and respect that about you, even if they don't agree with some of the things that you value. But they respect someone who has strong values and lives by their values, because that's integrity. And I have to tell you, because I know what it's like to not do that compared to I now do this, the inner peace that you experience when you really gain clarity with your values and you live them, it's just indescribable, really. I mean, the inner peace and relief and just the certainty that you feel in life is so worth the work or the effort you put in and taking the time to figure this out. And there's work activities, there's exercise that you can do to gain clarity on your values. So if you need help with this, I do have a worksheet on how to take the time to sit down and ask yourself what are your top 10 values, and narrowing it down and really looking at that. Because once you have clarity in your top 5 values and you start to live your life based on your top 5 values and your daily activities reflect that, that will save you a lot of time and energy, and it makes decision making so much easier. And it's one of really the secret ingredients to embracing ease, is living a value-based life. So I do hope that if you haven't done that already, that you do take the time to sit down and really ask yourself these critical questions, because it will really help you be able to move forward in a more powerful way. And then the other thing is you've got to remove self-sabotage. So self-sabotage is, let's just say you desire to be in a loving relationship, but you don't think you're worthy or lovable. That's self-sabotage. So here's an example. I have a great friend, and she went on a date, and during this date, she didn't eat. She just drank alcohol. And so, of course, she, during the date, didn't feel well, wasn't able to think clearly, and didn't put a very favorable impression on this date. That's a perfect example of self-sabotage, right? Because she was saying she wanted this relationship, but then she would actually do things to ruin it or to sabotage it. And so it's important that we look at the small and big ways that we may be sabotaging ourselves and actually working against ourselves. And we can do that in our belief systems. One way is you say you want something, but then you have opposite beliefs. But it also can come in our habits and behaviors. So, for example, if you're, wanting to lose weight and you're on a diet, but then you bring home a bunch of, chips and cookies for your kids, that's not really setting yourself up for success, right? It's making it very difficult for you to maintain that intention because of the environment that you're in. So it's very critical to remove self-sabotage. And the third is working in harmony with yourself, because when you're in harmony with you, life will flow. That's when you experience ease. When you've really gotten in harmony and you've removed self-sabotage and you're experiencing inner peace, because you're in harmony, life harmonizes with you. And so you just find that you're in situations where things work out for you somehow, some way, right? Just magically, things will work out for you because you're operating from such a high level of self-harmony that new opportunities, new things show up in your life. It's such a beautiful place to live. And you just experience the inner peace and freedom that comes with knowing and accepting yourself. So the belief that you must embrace for this shift to happen on an internal level is that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Love and accept yourself as you are, right? So that's the shift that you will notice when you've reached this point of truly knowing and accepting yourself, is that the need to be perfect will just fall off like an old shoe or something. And in its place, we'll have this beautiful moment of just knowing that you are enough and that you are lovable as you are. Okay, so the third shift is about honoring your yes and respecting your no. And in order to have a life of ease, you must develop strong and healthy boundaries. And so I want you to think maybe how many times in your life where you said yes, but you really wanted to say no. Or maybe you gave in because someone gave you a difficult time, right? Every time you set a limit, they got upset or angry with you, and that was scary for you. And instead of staying strong and staying firm, you gave in. That happens to all of us. And when we can't handle conflict, when we haven't learned how to stand strong and really show up for ourselves and be the best advocate to ourselves, we will end up saying yes when we really mean no and agreeing to things that aren't right for us. And sadly, I've seen this a lot, with people where, they'll buy into going after things that aren't right for them or buying into programs that aren't right for them. And so this self-authority really needs to happen in order for you to feel strong in your ability to say yes and to know what a yes feels like and what a no feels like, and to be able to listen to your body and respect it, and to be able to listen to your intuition and respect your intuition. So be comfortable saying no to things that aren't right for you and allowing yourself to feel uncomfortable when a person has a reaction to it. And then similarly, being able to say yes to things that might feel scary to you because they're outside of your comfort zone, but they're aligned with your vision. And here's what I love about this. Once you do the work of having a vision, then decision-making can be swift, quick, and confident because you've done the work to know what you want. So you're not constantly second-guessing yourself, wondering if the right choice, fear of missing out, all of that fades away because you've done the work of your vision. And that will make decision-making much easier for you, much faster for you. You will be working smarter instead of harder. You won't have to be putting in so much effort into things because you'll be putting effort into the right thing. So this is a very powerful place to be. So if you haven't worked on your boundaries and you know that this is a challenging, a challenge for you, I really want to invite you to look at areas of your life. Hi there. Look at areas of your life where you might be saying yes when you really mean no. And I do have a book called How to Set Healthy Boundaries Like a Pro. And if you're on this webinar and you would like it, I'd be happy to send it to you as a gift, because I do believe that we all need to work on our boundaries in order to create this shift into ease in our life, because otherwise we'll be working against ourselves and a lot of our time would just be undoing some of the decisions that we made. So once you can make this third powerful shift, what will happen is you'll begin to embrace the belief that you're loved for who you are, not what you do. So when you've come to this third phase of your ability to really own your worth, of your ability to eliminate low self-esteem, of your ability to articulate what you want and communicate in a powerful way and really radiate confidence, you will step into this place where you really know that you are loved for who you are, that your presence is enough, and that you don't have to keep doing things to get people to like or love you. And that's where we spend a lot of time and energy spinning our wheels because we're just working so hard to please people and it's exhausting us. So this is a really powerful shift. And when you make this shift, it's amazing how much more clarity comes into your life and how you start to experience reciprocity in your relationships because you're operating from a very different place. So those are the 3 shifts that I wanted to share. I'll briefly review them to summarize. The first shift was getting into alignment. And again, if you're coming in for the first time, there will be a replay. And I went into all the things that need to happen to get in alignment and the belief shift that needs to take place. The second shift is really knowing and accepting you and all parts of you. And again, why that's important and the belief shift that needs to happen for your life to transform and embrace ease. And then the third one, which is honoring your yes and respecting your no, is about really being okay to say no to things that aren't right for you and embracing the belief that you are loved for who you are. So I want to share 2 quick success stories of what can really happen in your life when you make these changes. So Robin is a mother of a beautiful daughter, a wife, and a sales representative. And she came to me because she was just really feeling exhausted and unhappy with herself. And she felt afraid to set boundaries with others. And she enrolled in my Inner Alignment Academy. And just after 3 sessions together, she quickly shifted her mindset. She put some healthy boundaries and ended toxic friendships. She opened up to receiving new things in her life and got a huge account transferred to her name. She was so excited. She started to make changes in her diet and the weight started to fall off. And she felt at peace with herself and she released the negative comparisons that she that she had with her sister, because she always saw her sister as the beautiful one. And once we really worked on these shifts, she could look in the mirror and see her own beauty and what is amazing about it, and really know with confidence that she has that she's a beautiful person inside and out. And it really started to radiate in her relationships. And she is so much happier now and helping her daughter in more powerful ways because she's able to show up as a powerful mother. And then Gina, I love her story because Gina was just depressed for years. She came to me because she was anxious all the time and she felt isolated and alone. And this has been going on so many years that she really had a lot of health challenges and a lot of health problems. And after starting our inner alignment work, she started to feel happy for the first time. She started to smile. Her health got better. In fact, she has not had any migraines, which is like a miracle. She's not had back pain. And she's creating new friendships at the age of 70. So what I love about this is like, it's never too late to get started. You just got to get started. And it's so cute to just see her looking at life in a new way and being able to be the role model for 70-year-old women to look happy and youthful and alive and really show that you can restart your life at any time. And I love it because just a few weeks ago, she wrote to me that she said, yesterday afternoon, I experienced such inner peace that the world could have fallen apart and I would have still been okay. And I want to be able to recreate this feeling more often. And I thank you so much for your help and guidance. I am making progress and that is very exciting for me. I'm so fortunate to have you on my team. And I have to tell you, it's such a blessing to see her happy because it has a ripple effect. When she's happy, it's improving her marriage. And when she's happy, other people are noticing. And so she's able to make a positive difference on the lives of others, like her own sisters and her own family members. So it's really beautiful to see. So what did these women do? Well, we worked together on unhooking them from the self-sabotaging patterns, creating a clear vision for their life, and really closing the gap and removing the crap that holds all of us back from higher levels of happiness and success. So if you know that it's time to really break the internal tug of war, and you really want to finally experience inner peace and thrive in your life, and really get to a place where you feel like you can show up confident, worthy, and strong, then I really want to invite you to work with me, for us to sit down and have a conversation. We can see what you need and what's the best path to help you get there. And in the inner alignment work that I do, it's really a unique experience that's designed to reduce stress, remove sabotage, overwhelm, help you get back in balance and rejuvenate your mind and body so you're aligned with your highest intentions. I included a link to show you where you can look more about what we do in the Inner Alignment Academy. But if you know that you really want to work on this now, I encourage you to reach out to me. We can set up a quality 30-minute call that's related to setting you up for success. I've had many people take me up on this 30-minute call. They found it so valuable. Some ended up working with me, and some decided to take the information that I gave them and see if they can implement some on their own. And that's really my intention for this call. It's to truly support you. And if there's something that I have that will help you get there, I will tell you. And if there's something that I could share with you to get you started, I will do that as well. And here's the power of this. If you do end up working with me, we will really remove the self-sabotage and get you to a place where you can truly embrace ease and enjoy life on your terms. And we will be able to remove the self-sabotaging patterns that are holding you back so that you can really get in alignment with what it is you say you want and unhook you from, letting other people control you, overgiving in your relationships, needing the approval of others, but in unhealthy ways. We can unhook you from trusting the wrong people, isolating yourself when you need support, and help you really become the person that you know you can be with the right support. So again, I would love to set up a 30-minute set up your success strategy call. And to do that, you can reach out to me at support@shannontranphd.com, and I'll send you the link to set that up. Okay, so I look forward to supporting and helping you. And again, during this presentation, I did offer a book. You're welcome to that. And if you have other questions, you can also reach out to me with your questions at support@shannontranphd.com. Okay, well, until next time, have a great day. Bye for now.